Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh my god. What is going on with boxing, people? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Once again, it's on Ego Belly to Dawn. You know, we ain't even do. We just go cut right into it. Y'all want to cut right into it? Okay. Ego Belly to Dawn. Let's get it. Oh man, bad news, people. In case you live under a rock, you don't subscribe to my channel, because you know I plug y'all with that latest. Gerald Big Baby Miller failed a drug test, y'all. A PED test, March 20th. The results just came back. Now, let me address this real quick. A lot of people, or a couple people, hit me up saying, oh, why did why they just now send the notification that he failed a drug test if the date was from March 20th. Listen, I don't work for VADA, WADA, USADA, Salada, and Enchilada. I don't work for none of these companies, but you got to understand what they're dealing with. First of all, VADA, they don't just do boxing. You know what I'm saying? They do other contact sports. They do other sports in general. So you don't even know how many samples they're dealing with. Their laboratory, it's a lab. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know how much their workload is to begin with. On top of that, it's not just testing. They have to send people to these random blood, like, oh, we got to meet up with Errol Spence, we got to meet up with Mikey Garcia. They're doing random shit. So all this is, I'm assuming, coordinated, and they only have a certain amount of staff, right? So that's one thing. You don't know how many samples they're working with and how much clientele, how many people are utilizing their services. But beyond that, you have to just put yourself in VADA's shoes. When it comes to like doctors' offices, labs, hopefully, even though we know the court system, judicial system fails us, but these things, they have to be pretty accurate, especially like laboratories. We're talking about people's livelihoods. We're talking about people's credibility, people's reputation. You can't just stain somebody's name. So I'm sure it's a strenuous, laborious process to test, reconfirm your test. And I'm sure it goes through a couple different stages. They don't just get a test like, oh, the motherfucker failed, TJ Dillashaw, and then make calls. I'm sure they run it through the test again or get manager's approval or, whatever, just to make sure everything's on the up and up. Because you can't just come out and just, make accusations and contact promoters and networks like, oh, yo, your fighter and your fight cards failed a drug test. So that's just a little quick thing. A lot of people were hitting me up saying stuff to the effect of like, what took so long to get the results? It's really not long, considering what the implications are for people who fail. So I'm sure it's a process, so to speak. And you have to keep in mind, they're collecting, it's a random blood and urine test. Like AJ, I think it was, for this particular fight, he said he'd been tested like 13 plus times or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's you got piss in one cup, 2 in 1 cup. Nah, if y'all know what 2 in 1 cup is, y'all nasty as fuck. Y'all on Pornhub, y'all nasty as fuck. But you got blood vials and multiple ones. Sometimes when at least when I go to the hospital for regular shit, they draw multiple vials. They don't just do one in case there's something wrong with the first one. So they usually do at least 2. Then they test urine. It's just a lot. I'm sure it's a lot. Plus, you don't know how many people they serve. So that's just that. Came out that he failed a drug test. It's called GW. I'm gonna call it G14 classified. G14 classified. Because I'm not gonna keep saying that. We can say GW or we can say G14 classified. Because I'm not gonna go through this each and every time I need to say it. But I did a video about it. If you want more detail on that specifically, I'm just going to recap some of the stuff and just really get my thoughts, what this means for Joshua, what this means for Gerald Miller, from my perspective, what it means for the fight. So, yeah, we about to talk. Smash the like button. Oh man, I decided to give y'all another one. I was like, yeah, I got one more in me. Okay. This one's unfortunate though, because another fight. ESPN. You know what? I'm gonna show y'all this part. It's just easier if I show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all the G14 just in case you guys missed that last video I did, which y'all should be paying attention. Y'all need to subscribe. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, what's Gucci? What's Gucci, my killer? What's poppin', Margella? All right. Sources: Gerald Miller set to face Joshua fails drug test. Heavyweight contender Gerald Big Baby Miller. This is ESPN, by the way. I believe I linked in my last video. Gerald Miller is tested positive for the banned substance GW right here. GW 1516. 15, a 30, a 25, a 32, a GW, a 50, a 16. A GW 1516. The white around your lip. Man, you keep talking like this, I'm gonna go to let me stop playing. He tested positive. I don't know why. My brain is fucked up. That's what I don't know why the 15, a 16, a 30. I don't know why it reminded me of that. But he tested positive for GW 1516 ahead of his scheduled challenge of champion AJ. 3 sources told ESPN on Tuesday the fight is scheduled June 1st on Dazn, Madison Square Garden. The test results, which came to light on Tuesday, were from VADA, conducted in a urine sample Miller submitted on March 20th. Says we're in the process of obtaining further information, etc. Oh, they added to this because the article didn't have all this. It says GW 1516, also known as Cardi B or whatever this shit is, Carterine. I'm gonna call it Cardi B. An endurable. Damn, that shit sound like some superhuman shit. Endurable? What the fuck? Like, yeah, I'm off that motherfucker. You got me looking like Tukey William off that endurable out this one. Damn, that shit sounds strong. Anyway, it's on the WADA ban list, classified metabolic modulator. An athlete might use it to assist in fat loss or as an endurance booster. WADA has warned athletes of health risks connected to this drug, which in early trials caused cancer. What the fuck? In laboratory mice. Listen, I'm not going to go through this. You guys can read the ESPN article. I don't want to go through, I'm just going to tell you. You guys get the gist of it. So, I don't know, man. This don't sound good. It don't sound good. Because from my experience, what I've seen in boxing, more than not, when it's something hardcore, I told you, when it got that bullshit at the end, BOL, OL or LOL, is usually the fight's canceled, because those tend to be the stanozolol, turnable, endurable, and clenbuterol, and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? It tends to be the stronger shit that is like, true PEDs. Not like, oh, I went to GNC and they gave me some endurable and, tyrannosaurusable and all this extra shit, bro. So it's not looking good. It looks like, in my estimations from covering boxing and from what I know, I don't claim to be an expert. I'm not a scientist. I'm not the commission, so they have the final say. The fight's getting canceled, in my view. I will always update you guys if I'm wrong, but they're going to have to pull some major strings for the fight to continue. Because you got to look at it like this. These Nevada State Athletic Commission, New York, they got to, more often than not, they have to ban the fighter because it sets a bad example for their sanctioning body. There's a lot of money in line for these fights. I get that. But what does that state and what does that represent for your organization or your unit when you're saying, hey, the testing company that we're utilizing, VADA or WADA or whoever you're using, found something, and we tested it and then we retested it and then we found something and they pissed dirty and we're not going to do anything about it. You get what I'm saying? It usually doesn't happen because just like the Canelo situation, Canelo represents, outside of Mayweather, who's like in and out of boxing right now, but he represents probably like probably the most money in the sport, so him and Triple G, if that got canceled off for clenbuterol, I doubt that they're gonna have mercy on this because, again, nobody wants that blood on their hands. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody wants that blood on their hands. No state athletic commission wants to be the one that allowed for a fight to continue. It goes deep, people. You don't want the fight to continue, and then people are like, hey, what the fuck, how'd you let it continue? You can get backlash from the public. 2, we're talking about health risk. If somebody is on something, and what if, like, God forbid, one of the fighters, like the fighter opposite the person who tested positive, what if they died or get in a situation like Adonis Stevenson? Who the fuck you think is going to be liable for that? Who do you think the estate or the family is going to go after that? Like, this, I'm not putting this on him, but I'm just saying, can you imagine hypothetically if Alexander Vodstick and Adonis played out how it did, and then and Vodstick failed a drug test, and they knew about it, and they pushed the fight through anyway. You know what I'm saying? So typically, they always say, "Oh, we're gonna do further research." The only reason I could see this fight continuing maybe is if some more information comes out that there was like cross contamination or the test was invalid. But again, I don't really particularly expect things like that because this is people's credibility. So the people look at VADA like, what the fuck? So you tested it and then you guys messed up on your end, then that hurts VADA's credibility. So, I would imagine they have some type of protocol for like checking and double checking and triple checking to make sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's. So, it's looking pretty hopeless. Luis Ortiz, I've seen random shit like that. Like, he failed for something that was banned, but then he had his doctor vouching for him, and what he was taking was like medicine for like to control your blood pressure, for hypertension, to prevent like stroke and shit like that. So to regulate high blood pressure, because y'all motherfuckers be saying he's like 1,000 years old and shit. So that's a little bit different. But when you start getting into Turnbull and stanozolol, EPO, and that's the meth and the cocaines of the world. Not just weed, medical weed, or like a vape pen. You dig? So I can't imagine this fight goes on anymore. But that, this is just my opinion. I don't have the final say. I'm not saying I wish this. I just don't. I don't see with. I don't even know about the drug, the G14 classifier. I don't really know about it, but from reading, it sounds very similar to the shit that got the Povetkin Wilder fight canceled. It sounds similar to the shit that got the Canelo Triple G canceled and all these other fucking fights. The shit that got TJ Dillashaw banned for 2 years in the UFC. So, like, it don't sound too much different. All these things they target different things, but they're kind of similar, to a degree. Like, help you produce red or white blood cells, or, increase blood flow and the reproduction of blood cells, or oxygenate, help you recover, better stamina, to optimize your performance. So this is not a good look. I haven't heard anything from Gerald Miller. That's my guy, but it's not looking good. Not only for him, that's that's a bad look. You got the opportunity to challenge for all these belts. Some people thought other people were more deserving, like Dillian White, Luis Ortiz. Obviously, Wilder's deserving for unification. Maybe even Tyson Fury. And Joshua chose him. It kind of backfired because now, unbeknownst to you, I'm not saying it's Joshua's fault for someone else failing a drug test, but it is Joshua's fault that he stalled out other fights. It is Eddie Hearn's fight that he stalled out other fights that could have happened. Nobody really asked for this fight. You feel me? So that is absolutely Eddie Hearn's fault. Failing a drug test, they couldn't control it. But what they could have controlled was sending Dillian White a proper offer, since he was the front runner. If Wilder, all the reports we were seeing was that the front runner was Dillian White should the Wilder fight not come about. And it didn't come about. Wilder fought Fury and it didn't come about, and you didn't choose Dillian White. You couldn't appease him monetarily, but you're Eddie Hearn saying, "Oh, Dazn, we got the most money and the biggest budget." You got the biggest budget, but what is Dillian? You got, man, this shit don't make sense, bro. I'm telling you. You don't got enough money to give Dillian White whatever he's asking for, which is probably reasonable. He just don't. He sees the Canelos and all these motherfuckers making money. You offering Klitschko. This is what I'm talking about. This is what they do to black fighters. I keep saying it. You offering Klitschko $80 million. $80 million, my guy. $80 million to 120. Those are what the rumors are. For 3 fights. The man hasn't fought. He's a legend. We get it. But he's not the most. Dillian White is more exciting. I'm not going to say I'm not comparing him to Klitschko in terms of legacy at this point, but he's more exciting to watch. You can't appease him. You can't appease Dillian White to get the Joshua fight, and you could have kept the April 13th date. You could have kept it at Wembley. You didn't have to cancel the thing and come to America. You just kept that shit over there in the UK, and, and see how many people you can get. But since you couldn't get him, you knew the Gerald Miller fight wasn't finna sell out Wembley, and you don't want that on Joshua's rap sheet. You don't want him like, oh, he did, 50,000 in Wembley or whatever it would have done. It didn't sell out, So then they said, oh, Joshua's coming to America. Now he coming to America like Eddie Murphy, but the only thing is he don't have Simi. He coming to America without Arsenio Hall. He ain't got Simi now because his dance partner is likely going to face some type of fine or ban, and the fight's gonna be canceled. Listen, I'm a realistic motherfucker, bro. Even if the fight doesn't get canceled, this shit is still a dub, because people are gonna be like, hey, how the fuck first of all, how are you gonna have the fight continue and he has this G14 classified shit in his system? That's what people are gonna look. So either way, your event is fucked up, because some people, now that people want to see competition, yes, but we want to see equal competition. I'm not trying to see Thanos with all the rings and then somebody else, is a person at the Publix grocery store. You want to see Thanos versus the Avengers. Why would I want to see Thanos versus, Billy Bob Thornton? It doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying? So even if they push the fight through, which I don't think they will, from my assessment, it's still, because it's going to have that asterisk by it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have that asterisk by it. People are going to be like, oh, shit. Why should I get this if, like somebody has this in the system, it's unexplained or whatever, won't, and we still got to watch, I think it's a dub. Hoke Bradley, I doubt it. He said, I bet they choose someone like Kaunaski. See, this is what y'all motherfuckers, I promise you. Hey, listen, I'm about to break this fucking mic, man, because I'm like, I don't care. I'll buy another mic. I'm really about to break this mic because I keep telling y'all the same stuff on my channel over and over and over again. I keep getting it right, and y'all motherfuckers gonna give Ego's Army, New Media, and Boxingego are just due. I'm really about to rip this fucking mic out the thing because I'm tired of saying the same stuff over and over. I told you, I'm not blaming Joshua for someone failing a drug test. I'm not blaming someone for that. But what I am blaming them for is what I just said. They could have been fighting the people we've asked them to fight, and this wouldn't have happened unless those other people failed a drug test too. Like, if you would have been fighting Wilder, he hasn't failed any drug test. Luis Ortiz did fail a drug test, right? But he was excused for it the second time. You know, so he knows that he can't really be, like, for under any circumstances, failing again, because he already failed one in the Latif Coyote fight, and then he had that situation with the Wilder fight that was excused. You know, same thing with Dillian White. He failed. He said, I think he said he failed a drug test. Gerald Miller failed a drug test too. But Dillian White, I think he said he bought something from an over-the-counter product. So he already has like a stern warning. So he knows he can't fuck up, and he's been good since. He hasn't really had any repeat. He's like, okay, I took some over-the-counter shit that they were selling, you know, and I didn't know. So he already had a warning, and he's been good ever since. So, you know, Luis Ortiz, Dillian White, these are the better fights, if not Wilder, and Joshua chose to do it his way, you know. So it's just it's a bad look for everyone involved. Obviously Gerald Miller, I mean, unless he has some, like, you know, crazy explanation of how this got in his system, you know, that's obvious how it's a bad reason for him. You had this opportunity at all the titles, you know, and now you can't challenge for him, and then now you have this stain. And then the other thing that's bad for Gerald Miller is because Gerald Miller, he attacked Joshua's character. You know, he said Joshua in the press conference, he was saying Joshua's a dope fiend, and, you know, I know dudes that are bodybuilders and they ain't been able to get a muscle like you, and you got 80 pounds of muscle in 1 year. So he accused Joshua of being on something, and then he's the one that failed. So clearly the hypocrisy, that's not a good look. I'm just being honest. Like I said, Miller's my dude, but this is, you know, mistakes happen or whatever happened. It's just the reality of it. So that, for obvious reasons, isn't a good look. For Joshua, it's not a good look, because now he has to scramble to try to find a person who's not tied up, you know, and who's relevant to fill out Madison Square Garden. They allegedly sold all these pre-sale tickets and 16,000 plus seats and shit. Now they got to deal with this shit. You know, are they going to give refunds? Are they going to, you know, just try to push another event through? Can they do like Klitschko when he stepped in for Lennox Lewis, his opponent, last minute? It's going to be interesting to see what Matchroom can come up with. But this is a terrible look for Dazn too. Dazn took 2 L's like Cool J in one day. Dazn like LL. They took 2 L's like Cool J. When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me I need a girl that's as sweet as a dove. I need love. They took 2 L's. Like, 1 L was Triple G versus Steve Cinnamon Rolls. That was a L. Nobody want to see that. And then that's the fight. So your whole June, these are June fights. Triple G got confirmed to fight, you know, Steve Belly Flop, whatever the fuck dude's name is. That is being met with horrible contempt from fans. You know what I'm saying? I personally hate the fight. And then in June, your other June fight, now you got to scramble and try to save it, and I don't know, talk to the commission, keep the fight going, beg them, you know, do some pace on under the table, or you got to switch the opponent. You know, who you gonna get? Hey, bro, a lot of y'all keep saying Luis King Kong Ortiz. If I was King Kong Ortiz, I'd be like, no, puppy. Hey, mira, puppy, I no fight you. I no fight you, mira, puppy. That's what I would say. If I was like, nah, you ain't gonna use me as a backup plan, or you got a full ass camp. Nope. If I was Luis, nah, I don't even want Luis Ortiz to fight him. They gonna have to figure it out. I swear. If I was Luis Ortiz, I would be like, mira, papi, no. I no go fight you. I no go fight you. Fight me in Miami. Like, I wouldn't, hell nah, bro. So Luis Ortiz has 1 defeat challenging for a title. Joshua has a full camp. No fault of his own. His opponent fails a drug test, and now that they want to scramble, now you want to hit him up? Nah, bro, y'all bugging. Nah, I'll let that shit ride. I swear. You ain't gonna just use me. Okay, put it this way. Here, I'm the king of analogy. This is what the fuck I do. This is why I'm the people's champ. Let's say there was a girl named Sarah. She wanted to go on a date with you. She was trying to hook up. She was giving you all the signs. You fronted her off. She was trying to go to the movies with you. Then it comes out that you were trying to take another girl, Nicole, to the movies. And then when Nicole flakes on you, now you call up the Sarah girl, and she knows that Nicole flaked on you. And you call the Sarah girl like, hey man, you still want to go to the movies? The new Avenger came out. If I'm Nicole, I'll be like, fuck that. I'm not doing, because that's a backup plan. Why? I ain't nobody's backup, man. I'm born a winner. I ain't nobody backup plan. I ain't no consolation prize. I'm number one. Everything I do is number one. I gotta be great. I ain't nobody's backup plan. Hell nah. Would you do that? Y'all some simps. You know, you like a girl and she was trying to choose on somebody else, and then when that didn't work, now she want to come crawling to you? Fuck no. You got to do something extra nasty, bro. Like, man, y'all gonna turn this into something else, but hell nah. You got to do something. You got to, like, I need you to do something where, like, you lose, like, pride. Because you're not going to just, you know, now have me as a no understudy and shit. Nah, bro. I me personally. So I feel y'all. I know a lot of people are saying, like, oh, Luis Ortiz. Man, if I'm Ortiz, I'd be like, no, daddy. No, puppy. I know fight you. Drew can fight later in the year. Yeah, I'll fight him later in the year in Miami. Yeah, you want to fight? You want to use me as a backup? Fight him when he can get a full camp in like August, September in Miami. And we go in the Club Live after. Hell no. I wouldn't even do it if I was Luis Ortiz. So Joshua just posted a picture sparring with Martin Bacoli and all this shit today. So Luis Ortiz, he on the couch eating Frito-Lays and shit, and he just got to get up and save the date when Joshua could have picked him from the beginning. Hell nah, bro. Y'all bugging. Hell nah. I would never. If he takes it, he takes it. I'll watch it, but I wouldn't do it. King Kong, I'll keep fighting Christian Hammers before I do that. I'll fight Christian Slater. I'll just fight a Christian. I'll just go to a church and fight a Christian. I'm not fighting that. You know, I'll fight Cassidy versus Goods winner. I would never. Nah, bro. Because you had the opportunity. You had the opportunity to pick Luis Ortiz, send him a contract, and then we wouldn't even be worried about this. Fuck is you talking about? Nah. And if I was Al Heyman, I'll do the same thing. Man, we keeping boxing gully this year, all year. Eddie Hearn running around. Oh, no one knows Wilder. Oh, Al Heyman fucked up with PBC. You not using none of my fighters to save the day. That's how it gotta be. Tough love. That's what my mama do. I know my mom love me. I know she does. But she used to give me tough love. They gotta figure that out. Go fight Kubrat Pulev or Jenny Sushi, one of them motherfuckers, bro. I wouldn't save the day because Joshua could have made these decisions. Go fight Jin Sushi and all that. You know what I'm saying? Lap dance is for free. Fuck is you talking about, bro? I'm new media. Somebody say AJ versus Valdez. Hey, get the fuck out of here. He said Valdez. Hey, y'all, man, Jin Sushi can get it, bro. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Fight Ingram. She talking shit about Nipsey. Fight her. Fight that bitch. Hell nah, bro. I couldn't do it. I'm a prideful person. I couldn't do it. Oscar Rivas is with Top Rank. I wouldn't do that either. Bob Arum talking shit about Hearn. Why is he going to want to work with him? See, this is what happens when you burn bridges. Don't try to keep it cool with your potential competition / allies. You know, and here's another reason. I'm just being real. I'm talking about all's fair in love and war, right? Dazn just posted a commercial today with Canelo and Jacobs kicking a TV, and the TV said pay-per-view on it, and it was jumping the TV. Pay-per-view's dead. All right, pay-per-view's dead. Bet that up. If the Miller fight gets canceled, you figure it out. That's how I would be. I swear, that's how I would be. You talking about PBC did this wrong. You know, Eddie Hearn talking about Bob Arum and he's senile. Okay, you're not using none of my fighters now. You guys got to figure this out. Pay-per-view's dead. Okay, for sure. Save your event. Like PBC had to save their event when Omar Figueroa, you know, messed up and got injured or whatever in the Adrian Broner fight last year, when Abnormatis had a detached retina, and then the anticipated Tank versus Abnormatis fight got canceled. You know, when Willie Monroe failed a drug test and y'all motherfuckers was laughing because Charlo had to fight Matt Korobov, which I told y'all dumbasses was a tougher fight to fucking begin with. New media shit. Yeah, like that. You know, I told y'all Charlo was a tougher fight with Matt Korobov, and you seen it. You know? So Al Heyman didn't use no lifeline. I remember when Charlo was supposed to fight Hugo Centeno on the Wilder card, and then Centeno got injured. Al Heyman just had to figure it out. I'll make them figure it out. Real talk. Especially you saying pay-per-view's dead and PBC ain't this and that and Arum ain't this and that. Okay. I don't know who's going to get the fight. Which is, you know, it might be Steve Rolls' older brother. I don't really know. David Rolls. I have no idea. It's not my problem. This is my business. This is what I talk about. Danny, champ of the world, Danny. This is my business. I'm on some Angel Garcia shit. Straight up Ruthless Records. Rest in peace to Easy E. And my first name is Eric, and you know I'm right. That's Eric Wright, Easy E. Oh my gosh, bro. Bars. Let's get it. Who the fuck want what? Talk about Danny, champ of the world. Don't talk about no gosh darn Lucas Matisse. I don't know Corolla. I don't know Steve Roll. I don't know these dudes. You gotta figure it out. That's what it is. New media. You know, all these motherfuckers making fun of, AJ's a bigger star in America. He fighting Gerald Miller and selling out in New York, and Wilder's fighting Brazil. What are the ticket sales? Figure it out. You know, they saying all that shit. Hell nah. Or if need be, you gotta pay like you weigh. You want Luis Ortiz? Give him $40 million. Give him some of that Klitschko money. You dig? Give him that Klitschko money. You go. I'll rip heads off. First of all, I wouldn't do it just because I'm a prideful person. You know, Eddie Hearn just said that Luis King Kong Ortiz versus Christian Hammer was bloody terrible, and it was a fucking horrible fight to watch and the worst boxing. Why would I, if I'm Luis Ortiz, I understand the competitor, he wants to fight AJ. But Eddie Hearn was talking greasy just at the Corolla Lomachenko last week because he didn't foresee this coming. He was like, oh yeah, you know, I feel bad for Luis Ortiz. Okay, you need to feel bad for your card because your card is looking kind of fucked up. He just said this last week. Tables turn, like Errol Spence and Wilder be talking about. Tables turn. Justin Timberlake told you that. What goes around comes around. You know, karma. He was just talking about, Wilder's he said Luis Ortiz is being mismanaged, and I feel bad. They're matching him with Christian Hammer, and that was just a horrible fight to watch, and two shit houses fighting. All right. Now you need to lean on me when you're not strong. You know, I'll be your friend. That's all fair in business. So that's the truth of it. That's the reality, bro. I'm telling you, all these like channels and shit be talking about, bro. It's over. I don't need nothing from old media. I don't want nothing from old media. Don't ever ask to collab with. Don't ask for advice. I'm not helping nobody that want to see me fail. That's me. I'm just telling you what I would do. Why the fuck I'm gonna help somebody that's a snake? Somebody want to see my downfall. Someone want to see me out the game. What the fuck? That's just me. So that's, yeah, I have harsh views or whatever you want to call it. You know, so they're gonna have to figure their event out. We'll see what they do. See if they let the fight continue. But it's a mess right now. They said pay-per-view's dead. Oh, but in the bright side, Katie Taylor, she's fighting on the card. Since you guys love Katie Taylor in America, so maybe that'll save the main event. Because Katie Taylor is announced for this card. Damn, this shit great. Fucked up, man. That's why you need allies. You shouldn't just go purposely, like, you know, trying to go in on everybody and stuff like that. I feel you, ego, but Ortiz mad old. Oh, well. He was mad old and motherfuckers wanted him to get older. Why would I do you a favor in a time of desperation? Why would I do just? I don't care about age. See, yeah, a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing for real. Age is something, right? Age is something, but he doesn't. Luis Ortiz, one, is ducked. Two, he doesn't even fight in the style where he's taking mad punishment. So yeah, he has wear and tear from amateurs and pros, training camps and shit, but he's a defensively sound fighter. He's a fundamentally sound fighter. Usually those guys hold up a bit more. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not Brandon Rios where he's just like guts and balls to the wall type fighter where he's taking a lot of punishment, because he hasn't really taken punishment because people ducked him, so he hasn't been able to get the elite except for Wilder. So that's like the only fight where he really took mad punishment. You dig? So him being old is really not even as crucial. Certain guy like Brandon Rios being old, that's different. Margarito being old, that's different, because they fight in the style where they're not known for their defense. Jaime Munguia, same thing. From what I've seen, unless he dramatically improves his defense, he's another person. I can't see him being Bernard Hopkins' age, because he's not going to be preserved. He getting touched up by Dennis Hogan. No disrespect to him, but Dennis Hogan hadn't fought at a world-class elite level, and Dennis Hogan had Munguia's head like that. I just seen the highlights, and I seen that. So people keep doing too much with the age shit. Yeah, age, but put it this way. Real motherfuckers that know boxing know Luis Ortiz is physically and like true to life older than Brandon Rios, but Brandon Rios is more regressed in his career than Luis Ortiz is. But you have to understand boxing to know that. You know, and this is not a shade to Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios just lost to a 140-pounder at 151 and got stopped by Danny Garcia, stopped by Tim Bradley. You know, he's been through too many wars with that style. Like, you can hear it in his speech, things like that. So, yeah, Brandon Rios is probably 33 years old, 32. Luis Ortiz is 40, 41, 42, whatever. But guess what? Brandon Rios probably feels older getting up for training camps and stuff because he's taken a lot of punishment. He's been in wars. Floyd, like, do y'all listen? See, y'all so worried about hating on people. Y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen to the greats. Floyd Mayweather told you. He said, like I said before, the least amount of punishment you take, the longer you last in this sport. He told you. That's like a direct Floyd quote. Directly. The least punishment that you take, the longer you last in the sport of boxing. That is a direct Floyd quote. So yeah, y'all overhyped this age shit. He's not fighting old because he's technically sound. You see guys who are late 20s who get beat the fuck up. Luis Ortiz ain't getting even in the Wilder fight, he didn't get beat the fuck up. He was putting in work. That was a competitive fight. You see some of these other dudes and it like Vic Darchinyan or something. Had moment, you know, he don't look half as good as he once was. It's his fighting style. Took too much punishment. 2 Donaire knockouts. Nicholas Walters knocked his, you know, head around. He got knocked out by this Mexican cat at the StubHub on the card, on the Victor Ortiz Berto card. I was there. You know, that's just a lot. That's just a lot of blunt force and plus training camps and all that. So, it's you know, interesting, real interesting to see how this is gonna play out. But see, like I said, Dazn, they keep saying pay-per-view's dead. That shouldn't even be a focus right now. To me, in my honest opinion, I think Dazn should really just be focused on putting the best content. Like, who cares about these fucking memes and bullshit? You know, like Tracy Morgan. Okay, you see Dazn, you know, who cares? Like, nobody cares about that type of stuff. We want to see the matches. And so far, Triple G versus Steve Rolls, this ain't it, Chief. Nobody wants to see Triple G versus Stefan Urkel. You know, Urkel went in a little chamber, came out, and then oh, this is not regular Urkel, this is Stefan Urkel. Nobody wants to see that bullshit. Nobody wants to see Triple G versus him. And I could tell because whole media dying out, and you go to these comments, various people's comment section, and you see people saying the same thing I'm saying. This new media shit. We the digital mob. I told you. MOB, baby. Money on top of boxing. Let's get it. So, I can't wait to see what Dazn does in lieu of this news with Gerald Miller testing positive with what sounds to be a pretty, you know, hardcore component or whatever. I know Eddie Hearn's like, fuck. John Skipper, fuck. They have to be losing their mind. This was a big fight. Or what they were billing as a big fight. You know, it's Joshua's homecoming shit to America. You got to make this right. We don't want to see Joshua versus Hollow Man, Kevin Bacon and shit. I ain't heard Miller comment on it. Someone said, Eddie, are you okay? Are you okay, Eddie? Eddie, are you okay? Eddie, are you okay? Are you okay, Eddie? You been hit, man? I ain't had one of these since I was a kid. Remember them whatchamacallits? God damn, I'm glad. King Corleone, a fool. Ortiz vs. Joshua was a good fight, but like I said, I ain't nobody stepping stone. I wouldn't do it. So he get a bullshit ass like half camp. Joshua get the full camp. Because this is the thing. Joshua could have selected Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz had better asses in the seat ratio in New York, especially as a main event with Brian Jennings and Wilder than Gerald Miller did, even though Gerald Miller is from that because he wasn't even fighting as the main event. He was fighting on Danny Jacobs cards. Per Eddie Hearn. That's why I said they didn't even build like. It's like Dazn is freestyling, and not in a dope way like King Los or Eminem or Cassidy. It's like they just winging it. If you do it, you knew you were doing this deal. You should have started bringing these UK guys over. See, this is what's happening. Eddie Hearn Most of his fighters are from the UK. He's not fully established in America as a promoter. That's why Bob Arum keep going in and saying he don't know Nan and he don't know Jack Dick about boxing in America. He was content because he thought the UK was popping, and it was for a minute. You know, they were popping, and they had you know, it was this hotbed. O2 Arena was lit, and they had like fireworks and, you know, Cisco performing and all types of shit. Joshua walking out, Cisco came out, and that motherfucker, ooh, that dress so scandalous, and I know that can't handle it all night long. She had dumps like a cha. Die like what? All night long. Let me see them. You know, they're coming out to the elaborate intros. So he kept the money flowing out there in the UK, not knowing he was going to venture out to America, and it probably turned out to be harder than what he expected. Because you up here, you thought all these Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence and Charlos and Broner was going to run towards you with open arms because you were throwing money like Floyd doing on the screen right now. You know, oh, we got the biggest budget, we got billions of dollars and all these reports. You thought that would happen. And even you notice, the funny thing is, you notice the fans, even after Canelo signed that major deal for $365 million for 10 fights or whatever, people said, no, the floodgates are open now. Everybody's going to come to Dazn now. And it still didn't happen. Even after Canelo and Triple G signed to Dazn and Daniel Jacobs, you still didn't see the people like Charlos or Errol Spence or Mikey go over there still. But I remember distinctly when Canelo first signed, they said, oh, look at how much money they gave Canelo. Everyone's coming. But it's not so easy. Not so quick. Shout out to Ino, $5 super chat. Everything you ask a heavyweight about the Ortiz fight, they react like every time you ask a heavyweight about the Ortiz fight, they react like Lil Wayne when he was asked about the Black Lives Matter movement. Well, now it's coming back to bite him because, you know, Gerald Miller fell at drug test. Whole event is in limbo now. They're still going to do it. That's not a question. They're good, though. AJ's still fighting. They're not canceling the card. But who is he going to be fighting? This is supposed to be a homecoming America debut shit. Dazn on the phone with Klitschko right now. Dr. Steelhammer? Was that you? How much we got to pay you? I don't even want to see that. I really don't want to see Klitschko, AJ. He said Tom Schwartz's cousin. Who? Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah. Hey, AJ. Yeah. I really don't want to see Klitsch. I hope they don't think that's the savior. Dazn just took 2 L's today, bro. It's just what it is. That Triple G Steve Rose fight, that shit is, that's shocking. Steve Rose though. But listen, this is what I'm saying, bro. It's not as easy to take over America. It's big. You can't be pissing Americans off. Even if they pick, this is my honest opinion. Even if they lure Klitschko out of retirement, he's off of another 2. So Joshua keeps fighting him 18 to 22 month layoffs and shit. And he's coming off 2 back-to-back losses. So whatever you have to pay Klitschko, it's probably not going to be worth it. Because Klitschko, Vitaly just did a recent interview and said he wanted the 3-fight deal asking price upped to 100 mil after news broke that Wilder was offered 100 mil. So I feel like they're gonna have to pay Klitschko dummy. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to pay him a hefty amount to the point where between AJ getting 38 million or 40, whatever you think he's getting, and Klitschko, you gonna be spending so much on purses to the point where I don't see the event generating. So that, like, I feel like Klitschko would even be OD, because he and see, this is the thing, Klitschko, that's a huge risk. Okay, come out of retirement, put my legacy online for a guy who knocked me out 2 years ago or whatever it was. Been a long time though. You know he's gonna ask for something, a pretty penny. I mean, who wouldn't? And the other thing is, Klitschko ain't no big massive draw in America anyway. See, this shit is all fucked up, bro. It'd be one thing if they was at the Wembley again. You know what I'm saying? And Gerald Miller was going to Wembley, because then the UK could probably save him. But now this is chaotic if you really think about it. It's like, it's hurting my head. You had April 13th. Remember, Joshua was like, April 13th. We got the venue, we got the date, right? Then you cancel that for whatever reason, probably because you knew the Gerald Miller fight was where you wanted to go, and you couldn't justify it in 190,000, 100,000 capacity a venue. You don't want that on your resume, because that would be your lowest attendance fight, lowest attended fight in Wembley. So you came to America, and then now it's all got messed up by this drug test. Like I said, I'm a realist, and I'm just giving you guys how I see it. If I'm ever wrong, I have no problem being wrong, but I don't really see, because even if they push the fight through, like I said, Gerald Miller, they say, oh, hey, it was an accident, we still keeping the fight. That hurt the fight. There's no way news like this will break. And let's say you had, we'll use random numbers. Let's say 100,000 people wanted to order the fight. 100,000. That number is going to go down. That is just inevitable, because it's bad. It's like some people aren't going to support a continued fight with somebody who just failed a drug test. They're like, not my hard-earned dollar, because people want to see an even competition. Like, okay, put it this way. Let's say Lance Armstrong was on pay-per-view and I was finna order it, right? And then news broke that he was on EPO and he was doing the Tour de France and he was juicing. I'm not ordering it. Me personally. Why would I? You get what I'm saying? Why would I order? I wanted to see the Tour de France with Lance Armstrong and I was down to support. But if it's like this big, murder mystery and espionage and all this shit, and he's failing drug tests, why would I order that? You get what I'm saying? So you even if they push the fight through, I feel like you lost some sales just because of the bad news. This is not in any way, shape, form good news. I don't know who they're gonna fight. And then, like I said, I don't even think the fight will continue because of the particular. There's no justifiable reason that they could even use as a cover-up for this particular. Unless, see, you got to understand how this shit works. The news already broke. So now it becomes like, here's an example. Kids do this. Oh, I'm the king of analogies. If y'all want this analogy, can I get a hell yeah? Yeah, Miller, he messed up big time if this sticks, which it looks like it might. If y'all want this analogy, smash the like button and can I get a hell yeah? I'm going to give you guys this. I think it's a good analogy to kind of paint the picture for you. If y'all want this analogy, can I get a hell yeah? And y'all gotta smash the like button. But you gotta put the hell yeah. All right. Kids do this particular thing. They, like, my dad was always more like, unless he was pissed off or something, or I wasn't listening or something, but by and large my dad was more easygoing than my mom. Like, if I wanted to spend the night with my friends and I wasn't in trouble or anything like that, I would ask my dad, because I knew the chances that he, like, when I'm a kid and shit and I want to, can I spend the night at Justin's house? We're gonna rent movies, blah blah blah. He don't give a fuck. He's doing whatever he's doing. So he knows the family and stuff. He would be like, yeah, just call us when you get there, blah blah blah. And then my mom would find out that he authorized for me to spend the night, and she knows that I went around her because I didn't want to ask her. So then now it puts my dad in a situation. You feel what I'm saying? Because I went to him directly trying to like not go through him, but they're married. You know what I'm saying? To this day, they're married. So now my dad's in a compromising position because he's not going to allow me to go, and she's saying no. You feel what I'm saying? She's saying no, I can't go, and he already gave me permission. So what ends up happening is my dad would side with my mom. Like, oh, I didn't know you was acting up in school. Fuck that. You can't go. You can't go spend the night. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what it is. The news already broke with this VADA shit and the failed drug test. So if they, to save the event, did some cover up, now it could potentially damage VADA's credibility. That you see what I'm saying? You can't just blame it on VADA, because then now you're going against VADA. And then VADA is going to be the one, like, they're not. So, okay, so you did an incorrect test and the testing didn't produce good results. Now it becomes a VADA error. Ain't no company finna take that. They have a reputation as a company to maintain. You know what I'm saying? So if hey, the test wasn't real, then now you're fucking with VADA's credibility. So, situations like this, that's why you usually see the fights get canceled, because there's no one that can really save it, because you can either dispute the testing, and then VADA's going to show you the paper trail that they have and say, hey, we got a secondary sample. If you think this came in adverse, it was a clean sample, it was a usable sample. Here's all the steps we have. They're going to have receipts, basically, like new media. So you can't just throw it on VADA as a fuck up and say, oh, VADA, it was a false claim, because now you have to go against VADA. You get it? And ain't nobody trying to go against somebody who they know is going to show receipts and can prove and show the work that they did, because now you're messing up their reputation and their integrity. That's why there's no really getting around it once it gets out. So I don't see the fight happening anymore. The card is still going to happen. Joshua's still going to fight, but I don't know who he's going to fight. And the other reason, like, Gerald Miller has failed a drug test in the past. Some of y'all didn't know that. You don't remember. I talked to him about this, and I talked to Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington, he's from Vallejo. He's from the 707. So he's from right where I'm from. So I know Gerald Washington personally. And when he was fighting, I like both of them, Gerald Miller and Gerald Washington. I didn't get in the middle of it. That was their beef. But if you remember, Gerald Washington, I was there. He was on the Mikey Garcia Broner undercard, that fight. Gerald Washington said, I'm a clean fighter. He had like a homeless people, how they had a little cardboard sign. He had a sign like that. He had a sign, and he's like, oh, I'm 100% drug free or some shit like that. And I asked him, I was like, what's that about? He's like, man, this dude, did he fail a drug test in the past? He said, I did my research. He failed a drug test. And he said, I'm in shape and I'm lean and fucking muscular, but I just want people to know I'm setting the standard. I'm a clean athlete. That's what he told me, And then if you look it up, he did fail a drug test. So that's another reason. Gerald Miller has already had a failed drug test, so I don't see them letting it slide, And it did happen with Luis Ortiz, where that was his second infraction, but he lucked out, because what he got busted for was provable that it was in heart medicine for hypertension, for high blood pressure. This ain't no shit that no doctor is just prescribing. They said too much of this, whatever this shit, is lethal and deadly, and it was giving mice cancer. So this sounds like some hardcore shit. This don't sound like some shit that a doctor, you could just go to Kaiser Permanente out this motherfucker, and your doctor would be like, oh yeah, take this G14 classified. So it's a lot different than whatever Luis Ortiz, the two components that they found, because the every drug has a chemical makeup or whatever, and the chemical makeup of those particular drugs were found in the blood pressure medicine that doctors prescribed for Luis Ortiz, and the doctor like testified and basically swore under his medical practice oath that, hey, he has seen me for high blood pressure, he's at a certain age, so I prescribed this. You can't, who you gonna get to vouch? What doctor's gonna be like, yeah, I gave him the G14 classified, this endurable? It just sounds like too hardcore of a substance. Doesn't sound like just a diuretic. It sounds like some shit with some prolonged use or excessive use or the wrong amounts. Sounds like it has some pretty severe high risk side effects. Ain't no doctor gonna give you some shit like that on purpose, and then vouch for it. We got another super chat, people. James Souza, $15 super chat. Appreciate you. I have to thank you and the Army. I'm back in Cali. Oh yeah, you said you were moving. Congrats. Can we get some claps for James Souza? He's a regular here. He said you moved back to Diego? Yeah. He said as of today, still oh, you're not fully in Diego yet. He said through my divorce, you and the channel been there for me in different ways. Ego's Army is family. Thank you, Army. Yeah, man. Give my man James Souza some claps. That's what we here for. Boxing united us all to talk about this sport. Give my man some. He's switching up his residency and his living situation. So give him some claps or some praying hands, all that. Yeah, this is bad. And the other thing is the timing is bad, because not everybody, but people that could happen to fight aren't available. Like Wilder's fighting Brazil. Showtime got their own New York fight with Wilder. You get what I'm saying? So I doubt Wilder pulls out of his man. That seems like a lot, because it just doesn't sound likely. Shit like that, because there's too much. Dazn doesn't do pay-per-view. The Wilder side would want Joshua Wilder to be on pay-per-view. They already got the Barclays rented. Joshua has Madison Square Garden, so that's not realistic. That's not realistic. Like, Wilder's not going to pull out of his fight, and they're holding the venue up, the Barclays, to go fight at Madison Square Garden. It's not enough time to prepare. None of that. No press tour. This ain't Klitschko versus Lennox Lewis. This shit is a real business, and these guys know it. So it's not like that's going to happen. Brazil's tied up with Wilder. And Tyson Fury, he's tied up with Top Rank and Tom Schwartz. So those fights, we know those aren't happening next to replace Gerald Miller last minute, because those aren't even Joshua Fury or Wilder Joshua. Those aren't last minute type fights where anybody would want to do it last minute and ill prepared. So we know those aren't happening. So he can't fight Tyson Fury, Tom Schwartz, Dominic Brazil, or Wilder. So who's he gonna fight? Especially that has ties to Dazn. Unless he can get Luis Ortiz. But that's an Al Heyman fighter, and like I said, we don't know. Maybe Al Heyman doesn't want him to. Maybe he has other plans for him, because they're trying to do Joe Joyce and Luis Ortiz possibly. And he could. That's what I'm saying, man. Eddie Hearn went around doing that and talking bad about Al Heyman. Hey, that you might be right. Michael Hunter, that's horrible though, because he's a cruiserweight. See, they won't put Usyk in there. See, that's what I'm saying. I doubt Usyk has an actual career. They ain't trying to put no Usyk in there, like, straight away. Oh yeah, Usyk already has a fight anyway. He fighting Takum. This is what I'm saying. The timing is fucked. You don't think Brazil would pull some hoe shit? Just got me think. Hell no. If you see y'all, listen. A lot of you guys should stay away from the internet. The internet, it just breeds a lot of negativity, and like a lot of people, it's like almost not even a real world anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like people would start just thinking like Nipsey Hussle got shot, and then it immediately was conspiracy theories on that. It had to happen this way, but it really sounded like some hating, Mark shit over anything else. But they're like, nah, Dr. CB documentary, and the cops did this, and some of it, some of the stories sound cool, but I just feel like people always go to, like, take it there. You gotta be realistic and look at it. You said Dominic Brazil pulled hoe shit. Wilder was supposed to fight Fury. Dominic Brazil wasn't gonna get the shot. The WBC said, okay, Fury, he told us he's not fighting you next and ordered the fight. So if he pulled some hoe shit, then he gonna lose his spot and he gonna get passed up. So I really don't feel like, why would he do that? He went to Virgil Hunter. He's already training camp. If he pulls some hoe shit or whatever you're talking about, then he's gonna lose his positioning. They're not gonna just hold it open for you when he just pulls out for no reason. Like, that's not how that works. So you guys like kind of go towards the conspiracy theory type of outlooks and like, speculation. Hey, somebody was going in on me. I didn't even see it until now because my shooters clapped him. Hey, these shooters be putting in work. They be putting in work. I didn't even read that. Listen, someone said he about to fight Kirkland. Kirkland just signed a new deal. He looked like he gained some weight too. So, hey, man, this is terrible news for Team Joshua, Team Gerald Miller, Eddie Hearns, and Dazn. Like, just the whole situation is pretty fucked up. The timing. And here's another thing. Wilder's probably laughing. He's probably laughing. You know why? For one, in 2017, Deontay Wilder accused Gerald Miller of being on PEDs. He said that Gerald Miller's on PEDs. And then people said, oh, he's fucking hating. Da-da-da-da. He don't know. He's just talking bullshit. Look, I did the video. I brought the video back. New media. These dudes just keep coming back. I don't care. Shooters, just keep clapping him. I don't care what he's talking about. I brought the video back. Y'all want to see? Oh, shit. I got my credit. Hold on.
Somebody said, what's your thoughts on Big Baby Miller? Man, fuck Baby Miller. He's a crybaby, man. He's a fucking big-ass crybaby. That's what he is. And he better watch himself, too. He better watch himself, too. Like I said before, the niggas that be talking the loudest, acting in rage, all that shit, you gotta watch him. We know a lot about him as well, too. Watch yourself, boy. We know a lot about you, too. We know a lot about you too, man. Y'all stay away from these fucking PEDs, man. Y'all stay away from this shit. It ain't good for you. Stay away. It's a lot of them, man. I know all y'all too. I know all y'all. Trust me. Okay, trust me. So they say, trust me. Let's see.
New media. I told you I'm destroying I'm destroying everything. That's from October 2017. Wilder said that. Wilder knew medium. He said I know shit about. He said he don't like Gerald Miller or whatever. He's a crybaby, and he said I know things about these guys. Trust me. He on PEDs. I know shit about blah blah blah. And then he failed the drug test. Like, damn, new media just out here, bro. That's like Ego Stradamus type shit. And you know what the crazy thing is? He called out the Povetkin. He called Povetkin out for failing a drug test. And I think Luis Ortiz too. I'm pretty sure. Like, go back and if you really do your homework, he said Povetkin was on something. He said, I know, but I'm still going to fight him because I'm from Alabama. I'm so flustered. And he said Luis Ortiz. I'm pretty sure he said something about Luis Ortiz too. And Gerald Miller was one of the people he called. Boom. He failed a drug test. So, it's not a good look for old media, And when Wilder posted the video, they said, oh, he's just accusing people. He's full of shit. He's chicken leg Wilder. He's 40 bums, 40 blah, blah, blah. Wilder looking real new media-ish. Damn. I told y'all to y'all just got to fucking wait, But wait, there's more. Like, y'all just got to wait. New media be putting in that work. You just got to wait for it, See, we don't do stuff over here for the quick gags and, you know what I'm saying? Our shit is like a time bomb. We strategically place that bomb, under your car seat. We don't even have it blow up when you go to work, We set it on a timer. It gets you after you come out of work on some casino shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to rush it. Because we didn't want to do it in the residential. We wanted to wait till your job to throw the detectives off. This is the type of shit we do. We do that time bomb shit that detonates later. That's what I'm saying. I don't do shit for instant gratification. If I can get it, cool. But I'm coming back. All this shit I said that came true, shit Wilder been calling out that came true, and y'all motherfuckers, oh yeah, Ego, you're sucking Wilder, dude. You fucking love him, dude. All this extra, like, funny ass shit, this goof troop shit y'all be doing, coming back to bite y'all. AJ's the biggest star, and he's a bigger star in America. Well, we gonna find out, because if this fight gets canceled, his star power gonna have to show up, especially if they doing refunds on tickets. His star power gonna show up. It's gonna have to show up to save this event. So we gonna see, the stuff, all that shit y'all be shoveling. We gonna find out, real quick, fast, and in a hurry. You said AJ's a bigger star in America than Deontay Wilder. So this is the part where we. This is the part where we need to see that star power show, because he's gonna have to save his event. Oh my gosh. Icy the one too. $5 super chat. Thank you. After the stream, I never want to hear Ego is biased again. BBM is someone Ego knows personally. Oh, Big Baby Man. I was like, who is that? I was thinking of no, never mind. And now has to unfortunately report that he's juicing. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. That's my guy, but I got to be honest with the situation. It doesn't look good, especially since he accused Joshua of being on stuff. Like I said, there's two sides to a story, so I'll wait, and if I see something from him, I'll report it just like anything else. See, this is the difference between old media and new media. I cover everything. Old media, they don't even talk about shit like that. And they definitely don't do it analytically. They might say Miller failed a drug test, but they're not telling you, like, I'm breaking down the implications, what this means. Like I said, Joshua's man fans, they said that Joshua is a bigger American star than Deontay Wilder. So this is where his star power is going to have to rise, because his event looks like it's getting fucked up. The old media is saying, oh, Katie Taylor is better than Clarissa Shields. She's, the best woman boxer. She's on the card, so she's going to have to help, make this a successful event. Y'all like Katie Taylor? This is what they say. I'm just going off of what they say. Andy Ruiz Jr. is with Al Heyman. It's kind of funny how that works. Everybody you guys are recommending that's reasonable, reasonable fights are with Al Heyman for the most part, and then Top Rank has Tyson Fury. And then here's the other thing. You can't even use like Joseph Parker, because who wants to see, if you watch Joshua Parker 1 Who wants to see a rematch to that? Carlos Takam's fighting Usyk, so you know, unless they cancel that and Usyk dares to be great, which I don't even want to see him rush through heavyweight like that. We already seen Joseph Parker. He's not a champion, and he lost to Dillian White. They might have to get that Dillian White fight cracking. Just give Dillian whatever he wants. But see, I don't even know if they would do that. You know why? Because Dillian White versus AJ, this is fucked up. I'm telling you, this whole situation is fucked up. Because let's say Dillian White is a reasonable candidate. I haven't heard of his opponent being announced, and he's already with Eddie Hearn. But that's more of a UK fight. You know what I'm saying? So you have Madison Square Garden booked. Are you really going to bring Dillian White and you're going to have two UK guys when you could have put that somewhere in the UK? You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? That doesn't even, like, it makes sense just as a filler, but I don't think that's the preferred location. I enjoyed AJ versus Parker. I didn't. The ref did fuck it up. You guys might want to see it. I don't want to see that again. Yeah, it's tricky, man. Dazon's hands are straight tight. That's what I'm saying. So don't be surprised if it's like a Tom Schwartz, Kubrat Pulev, or somebody is just, I don't even know who they can use really. I really don't. What belt does Joshua have? He has a WBO. I'm pulling the WBO rankings up right now. Okay, WBO rankings. The number 1 person is Dillian White. Number 2 is Tom Schwartz, who's fighting Tyson Fury. Number 3 is Miller, who just failed a drug test. Number 4 ranked person is Tyson Fury, who's fighting number 2 guy, Tom Schwartz. Number 5 person is Oscar Rivas, who knocked out Brian Jennings, and he's with Top Rank. And Top Rank's been going in on Eddie Hearn, so I don't know that they would release his guy to help save. Why would your competitors want to help you save your event, especially when you're talking about them? Number 6 is Zhang. I don't even know who that is. Number 7 is Spong. Number 8 is Junior Fa he's 17-0 from, I think, New Zealand. Caballel, Fujimoto, and then number 11 is Jennings. That's what I'm saying. These are the WBO rankings. None of that sounds like some American shit, except for the top guys who are already tied up. Yeah, it's getting iffy. Let me see. Let me check the IBF rankings. Hey, it's getting ugly. I don't know what. I know Eddie Hearn and Dazn, they got to be like, what are we gonna do real quick? Joshua's a champion. Number 1 is Kubrat Pulev, who's might be getting sued. Jin Sushi. Number 2 ain't rated. Number 3 is Ajit Kabayel out of Germany. That's not really an American fight. Number 4, Adam Kaunowski. Number 5 is Otto Wallin. Oh, Otto Wallin right now. From Sweden. Not really a fight for Madison Square Garden to me. Number 6 is Robert Helenius, who got knocked out by Johan Duhaupas and lost to Dillian White out of Finland. And then you have Oscar Rivas, who knocked out Brian Jennings. and he's with Top Rank, so I don't know if they will release him. Then Luis Ortiz, Tom Schwartz, Michael Hunter. Hey, this is getting sticky, man. You know, Sergey Kyle Kuzmin or whoever this is. Philip from Croatia. Parker, he already beat. Huey Fury hasn't really looked good in his recent fights. And then Andy Ruiz. They got Andy Ruiz out of Mexico. I thought he was from America. I didn't know he was like, I thought he was born in America. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. You know, because I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see. Wilder, they don't rate champions on them rankings because he's already a belt holder. So they just kind of rank. It's for like non-champions for the most part. Tyson Fury's on there because he's a lineal champion. He don't have like an active belt. New York fighter, why you hating ego? Block this motherfucker. Leave us soul. I don't care what you talking about, bro. Get off my shit. Leave me alone for good. Shooters, get rid of that dude, man. These dudes always say I'm hating off of some stupid shit. Hey, I see the one, you gotta get that because you keep hiding and unhiding and then hiding people. I don't know why it's happening so much, but it happened in the last stream. Kane says, remember AJ is the star according to his fan base. Boys, he can fight anyone. The fight will be massive. Let's see it. I don't know. I'd be pretty shocked if they save the event and keep Miller in there. Because like I said, somebody has to be the fall guy. So did VADA make a mistake? You know, are they going to is the VADA organization going to say, okay, my bad. We notified everyone and got everyone riled up. It was a lab error. You get what I'm saying? And then that's going to make VADA look crazy. And I don't know. I just don't know if I never seen that happen. Because like I said, I'm sure it's a multiple phases and stages to proving if a test is there. Like, you know. Huddy, you guys have to listen. I'm about to get off here, bro, because you guys are just randomly taking the shot at the dark. Educate yourself on the drug. You can't use tainted supplement in every situation. Tainted Canelo had clenbuterol. That has been documented to be fed to livestock. EPO, they don't inject cows and farm animals with EPO that are at cattle ranches to cook. You get what I'm saying? The stuff, the G14 classified or whatever that they're saying sounds like it. They even said they tested it on mice and it gave the mice cancer with you know, too high of doses. The lab rats were developing cancer, and they banned it because it has severe health risks. Clenbuterol is actually something to beef up the livestock to make it more sellable. You're not going to give something to the farm animals that gets you less money because your farm animals have cancer or they're dying. So that's not what. I don't have extensive background in this, but from what I read it up, it doesn't sound like something, whatever this component is, this G14 classified, it doesn't sound like something you can just say, oh, it was in the steak. You guys just run with that because it's happened before. Certain steroids and different types of chemicals, there's no history of them giving it to livestock to the point where you can even use that Canelo excuse. The other thing is, where the fuck, like, listen, this I know, Huddy, I know you're regular, so I'm not just trying to say you, but I'm just saying y'all got to think this stuff through. Gerald Miller's from Brooklyn. Where did he get the tainted meat from? Canelo had the excuse of Mexico, where there's different standards and conditions. The FDA and shit, they might not have that in Mexico. Just like if you drink tap water in Mexico, you might get sick, you know, because there's all types of shit floating in it, and you know that the water quality control and shit like that is different. Gerald Miller training in Brooklyn or LA or somewhere. So where he get the contaminated meat? He went to, you know, Applebee's, and they had, like, it just doesn't work that easy. You know, if a like when Chipotle had the E. coli, that was a known documented thing that people having like lettuce and shit were getting sick. That was like nationwide news. It wasn't just like Gerald Miller was the only one that got ill from it. So there's just different occurrences and exemptions and excuses that one could use. Yeah, it's bad because he said that Joshua was doing something. Yeah, like you're from New York. You don't have the same. You went to a halal stand, and only you, you know what I'm saying? Like only you had this G14 classified in your city. You know, that's impossible. Like New York is a big city. You feel what I'm saying? So if you went to the halal, the little stand or whatever, then how are you there's no publicized documented cases of other people eating at that same spot, eating at that burger joint and having this in? Doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Canelo, we don't know what the fuck restaurant he's claiming he went to in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the standard is. That's different. Hey man, how's this Loma Checkers dude back again, bro? Billy Joe Saunders, get him out of here. He's not, bro. Billy Joe Saunders is not on Dazn. I don't know why you told him that, Icy. Billy Joe Saunders is with Frank Warren on ESPN. Block this dude again. He's been blocked like 25 times, people. And he keeps coming with the same name. If you see him, block him. Loma Checkers. You gonna at least have to come with a completely different name. These dudes come with the same name, trying to play some game. Block them. Block them each time you see that same name. Like, why do they come with the exact same name? So we know instantly it's you again. Like fucking Demetrius Andre. It's me again. YouTube need a ban button. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, they need to be able to like limit your IP address or some shit, bro. I'm trying to send a super chat and it doesn't let me. I'm not sure. But appreciate you, Richard. Yeah, of course they mad. Smash the like button. But they once again, how this shows you that there's just emotional fans of boxing. How is anyone mad at me? I didn't create this situation. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I got shit accurate. Why? Yeah, how are people mad at me? Yeah, man, this whole thing is a mess. I'm curious to see how it all plays out. I will keep you guys updated. I don't know, because Usyk's tied up. Carlos Takam already lost to AJ. He's tied up. Derek Chisora got knocked out in December by Dillian White. Dillian White is an option maybe, because I haven't heard of his next fight. But that seems like, that doesn't seem like a Madison Square Garden fight. You get what I'm saying? Like, that seems like, I don't know if Eddie Hearns would make that matchup, because he would be losing out on money, because that would be a fight clearly that would sell better in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Then you have different networks, and PBC and ESPN Plus. And see, I try to tell. Oh my gosh, they're saying like 10,000 travelers are coming. Shit, are they still coming? You got to look at it like it depends. Like this what I warn people about, you know. And see, this Eddie Hearn got called out by Bob Arum, and I think he's accurate. How you got 10,000 fans coming? You see what I'm saying? 10,000. Shit. So if he fights Bumpy Johnson, are they still coming? You know, there's a lot to consider here. There's a lot to consider here. Because some of those people might top off. Like they might have liked that particular match. So if that particular match don't happen, and if it's Michael Hunter or something, then they might not come. You know, that's why it's different when that's your marketing ploy, like trying to get a bunch of people from the UK to come to America, trying to sell to, you know, pre-sale, like all that shit. So remember they did the pre-sale thing. And then some of the tickets were being listed at 15,000. Even if you bought that ticket for 15,000, you bought a ticket for 15,000, and it might be, you know, Kabayel or somebody. Hell no, bro. Like Joshua was supposed to fight Kubrat Pulev, and then he fought Carlos Takam. So I don't know who they're gonna get right now. Chazamine, but this is the only thing. I feel you. He says Dillian White's already in camp, so he should be a likely choice. I get it, but the thing you have to. This is a really fucked up situation, how it all played out and the timing. AJ had April 13th booked for the venue for Wembley. Fact. They canceled that to come to America for an American debut. Eddie Hearn at the Lomachenko Corolla events last week said he presented Luis Ortiz and Gerald Miller to Dazn, and they said, yeah, we want to fight Miller. He's a New Yorker fighting in New York at Madison Square, and he's a good talker, and that's what we want for his American debut. So now he would be making his American debut with Dillian White, which is not a horrible fight, but it's more of a UK fight. I don't know if they would do that. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, because that's a fight. Like, okay. I don't know. I don't know if they would do that. It makes sense as a likely candidate because it's a better fight to save it, but they might just consider it a bust. I'm telling you, because if AJ fights Miller, I mean, if AJ fights Dillian White and knocks him out, then who's gonna want to see that fight happen ever again in the UK where it can make more money? Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making it easy to understand. Bottom line, it's not a bad fight. It's not a horrible fight. It would be a solid save in lieu of Gerald Miller not fighting. I get that, but that's, again, this is an American debut. So you're gonna make your American debut, and the main event is two fighters from the UK. I feel like that defeats the whole purpose of an American debut. But, you know, maybe they do choose it because who else is he going to fight that's American, you know, or has a profile in America, you know, unless they can get Luis Ortiz. You know, he's probably the only equal or greater fight that has American presence. But me personally, if I was Luis Ortiz, I would say nope, because you could have picked me to begin with. I'm not going to have a half-ass camp. You get what I'm saying? Why would I have a half-ass camp when you could have selected me from the beginning? We could have got it rocking, you know? And you didn't want to pay me. Now you want either that, or if I did fight him, I would high charge the fuck out of them. You gonna pay me Klitschko type paydays for the inconvenience. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even fight him, you know, because of that. Why should I save your event? and have a half-ass training camp. I'll make them pay me like 25 mil or better. Why? I said 25 mil. Real brother said 25 mil. See? That's funny. I told you, Eagles Army, we connected. Bro, I'll make them pay me like crack fiends. They have to pay me. Because you could have chose it. This is why I'm not blaming Eddie Hearn. I'm not blaming Dazn. I'm not blaming AJ for somebody failing a drug test. But I am blaming them because this could have all been avoided had you fought the people that new media was telling you to fight. If you fought Wilder, this wouldn't necessarily have happened, because this only happened to, this never happened in Wilder's career. It happened in Miller's career twice now. You know? Luis Ortiz, he's already been warned, and he's already failed a drug test before that. So he knows he's on thin ice. He can't fail no more drug tests. And he passed the second Wilder one. So I would imagine, you know, all goes well, fingers crossed, you know. And you could have fought Luis Ortiz already. You called him out, and you didn't even really send him an offer. Eddie Hearn admitted on tape. He said, I talked to Dazn. They wanted a New Yorker in New York. Tyson Fury's booked up. Wilder's booked up. Dominic Breazeale's booked up. And AJ already beat Dominic Breazeale. Crazy. There and see this is what happens when you don't listen to new media. If you think about it, if they don't make the Dillian White fight and they don't make Luis Ortiz, then who are they gonna pick? If they pick someone like Michael Hunter or Caballel for an American debut, that's horrible. That's horrible. Now their whole June is messed up because Triple G, this is another thing. The pressure is on Dazn. Here's why. If y'all want to know, oh my gosh, if y'all want to know why there's an immense pressure on Dazn, smash the like button. And can I get a hell yeah? I'm gonna tell you why this ruins things. The only people that can save this would be obviously a champion, or, in my opinion, reasonably, Dillian White or Luis Ortiz. I don't see Frank Warren coming to terms and putting Daniel Dubois. Joe Joyce, he got a lot of options on PBC, and he said he wasn't ready for Luis Ortiz, or his trainer did. So I don't really see that coming to pass. But here, this is why it's bad. And this is what happens when you don't listen to new media. I told you, we control the narrative. We run the shit in America, and you know, we just taking over worldwide. But here's the issue. Now their June calendar is shot if they can't save this some kind of way. Like PBC did a good job. Broner was supposed to fight Omar Figueroa. I was looking forward to that. And then they saved it with Jesse Vargas. That was cool. That was a cool save. You know, Charlo was supposed to fight Willie Monroe, and they put him in there with the more dangerous fight that actually turned out to be that way. He didn't fight Monroe, but in my honest opinion, I think Matt Korobov was dangerous. So they're going to have to try to save it like that, something equal or greater in value. If not, the reason it's bad is they're big, you know, star people that they keep putting on every flyer and commercial. AJ, if he fights someone unheralded or unknown in America, then that's a lackluster American debut that I don't think draws a lot of traction. Then Triple G, we know he's in a terrible fight. He's fighting Steve Rolls, which got announced. So now their whole June, even if Triple G was fighting Rolls, you still had AJ versus Miller. So if that fight gets canned, and then they don't put Luis Ortiz, or they don't put like a Dillian White, you know, equal or greater type fight like that, then their whole June is shot, because your star fights that you had on the calendar, like I don't remember a time that's happened to PBC where Gervonta was supposed to fight Abner Matas, and then that big fight got canceled, and then another big fight the same month got canceled. You know, all the other fights that happened around, like Leo Santa Cruz, actually his opponent got switched out too, but that wasn't a big fight. But Keith Thurman and the other fights, like Errol Spence and Mike Garcia, they went through. He said, Dazn gonna raise the price to $49.99. Hey, you wildin', dog. Someone said June gloom. I'm just telling y'all. See, I like. You just got to think forward. Triple G versus Rolls is not an anticipated fight. So you basically, if Joshua can't save this card, or DAZN, Eddie Hearn, the powers that be can't get a solid person, then their June is going to have their biggest stars following Canelo Jacobs, which is a really good May fight. Their June is going to have their biggest stars meeting inadequate foes. And this is what I warned people about from the jump. DAZN is heavily vested in, like, monetarily in their top guys. And shit like this happens in boxing. We all know that. So what do you have to fall back on? Especially when you don't have a deep stable, i.e. Al Heyman. Al Heyman, he has Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr., etc. If he really wanted to, he probably could have saved, instead of putting Hugo Ruiz, he probably could have found someone even greater. But his stable is so deep, they just got through it. You know, he even has Gamboa now. So they could have, they could have put Gamboa in that particular fight. So he didn't have to. He just said, okay, we're just going to leave it like this, stub up. Just get this out. Abner Mares is injured. And we got so many other events, we're not really worried about it. But DAZN has to be worried about, because they don't have as deep of a stable, and they don't have as many high-profile fights happening. You know what I'm saying? So they have to, once again, rely heavily on their Canelos, Jacobs, AJs, and Triple Gs. Triple G's in a terrible fight. You know what I'm saying? So if they can't save this with a good, like, substitute understudy fight, then their whole June month, what's the incentive to pay $20 for that particular month? It's just looking crazy, man. It's looking crazy. Looking crazy. But like I said, if you listen to new media, you could have put Triple G in there with Andrade, and if this bullshit happened with the Gerald Miller situation, then you could just take the L on that fight and then just put, AJ in there with whoever you got to get, and we still can anticipate Triple G versus Andrade that same month. But no, you wanted to put Triple G in a stay safe fight, even though Canelo's in a dangerous fight, and that's not a guaranteed victory for him. So they shot themselves in the foot, in my opinion. Okay, who would be complaining about June if we could fall back on Gennady Golovkin on DAZN as a network? We could fall back for Gennady Golovkin and Andrade fighting. Then people wouldn't even trip off the Gerald Miller AJ fight potentially being spoiled or getting canceled, because actually, if Golovkin was fighting Andrade, I would rather see that than AJ versus Miller anyway, even if Miller didn't fail a drug test. So you would at least have saved your month with the credible fight. But instead, you think the whole world wants to see Canelo versus Golovkin 3. So Canelo's already in a dangerous fight, so you didn't want to put Triple G in a dangerous fight. So now Triple G's fighting somebody that nobody really wants to see. No one really knows him. And you can't keep doing that and expect to win in America. I'm just telling you. No, what's the name? Steve Rolls is from Canada. Hasn't been properly introduced, like, in America to American audience. So if this AJ, if you can't save it properly, you got another UK guy who, it's not his fault, but his opponent failed a drug test. And if that fight gets canceled and they can't save it with an adequate opponent, then what are you expecting? How much traction do you think you're going to get from AJ versus Caballel or Zangief, or, somebody from Germany that no one knows, a Tom Schwartz type? Yeah, if Canelo loses, they're definitely screwed. You know what I'm saying? So it's ugly. It's ugly right now. If Canelo loses, that's really a L, because they. And see, this is what for Triple G, they should have. They're talking about he's getting $15 to $25 million. I'm not mad. Get your money, but that's a L. If you have to pay Triple G $12-15 million to fight Steve Rolls, you took a L, and that's what they're saying. They're saying he's getting paid out like that. All right, That's not winning, because the event has been met with boos and jeers, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to cheers. So, and then now the Gerald Miller fight, some people might want refunds, and I don't know legally, I don't know what the stipulations are with ticket sales when the event changes. I don't feel like you can force the people to keep the tickets, because Canelo, when he failed a drug test and the event got changed, everybody had refunds, even when we thought Triple G was going to still fight in Vegas. The MGM made refunds available. So anytime this stuff happens, it's just a mess all around, because everybody got to scramble. But the thing is, Dazn don't have that many people to scramble with in-house. See? And then look at Rich Mass. It's a very good point. I said the same thing. He said, let's do what old media said to Wilder about Povetkin, just fight him. Yeah, but here's the other thing about that. When Wilder went through it, they showed no mercy. You want mercy now? Old media wants mercy now on these situations because Gerald Miller. But when Wilder had Luis Ortiz, failed a drug test and fucked up that fight for November. When Andre Wawowski failed and then he replaced it with Gerald Washington. When Povetkin failed a drug test against Wilder, they rejoiced, they laughed, they said, aha, Wilder. And then they still criticized Wilder's resume. Oh, 40-0, 40 bums, blah, 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 39 bum. This is what they said. And now they want mercy, like, on the event. And it's just ugly for old media. These are bad times for them. Like, this is probably their worst year. The other thing is this. They say no one knows Wilder walking around in the streets, and AJ is bigger in America. They say Dillian White is getting paid more and bigger than America than Wilder. Well, now's the time to prove it. Now's the time to prove it. Because AJ is going to have to, his team is going to have to work hard and tirelessly to figure out how they're going to save this Madison Square Garden event. That's just how I see it. So, anyway, my job here is done. New media, you know what we rep, you know what we banging. I got to just see what they do, how they bounce back. I really don't know. I have no idea. I have to see what they come up with. Hopefully it's something good, because, like I said, Triple G's fight turned out to be, in my opinion, lackluster. It just got announced officially. Steve Rolls. Big Baby disappointed us. Yeah, I mean, that's bad. It's bad. You fought this hard. You remained undefeated. Went through the motions. Got a title shot at all these belts, and then all of that for this, to have something in your system, it's just a bad look. And you know how the fans are. Some people, like, they're like, oh, you accused Joshua and then now you failed to drug. It just looks bad, and it's people get, emotional and angry. Now, AJ, he's getting a taste of what Wilder went through. And so are his fans. This is exactly, Wilder went through this like 3 times at least. And some of the UK fans didn't care. They were like laughing, aha, figure it out. So, like I said, karma. And see, this is what I was telling you about. I told you, like, Eddie Hearn, he was running around saying, oh, I feel bad for Luis Ortiz. He just said that last week. Shout out to Town. Town Business got the video. He said, I feel horrible. I feel bad for Luis Ortiz, like antagonizing that man. Oh, they're mismanaging him. They're moving him, and his Christina Hammer was just dreadful. That the Christian Hammer fight was so dreadful. I feel bad for him. Well, you shouldn't feel that bad for him, because you have to redirect your energies to feel bad for AJ, because he's going through it. He's probably harder work in training camp. Supposed to make an American debut with not that many Americans or name-known people in America to fight that are open and available, that make for exciting, let's fill up Madison Square Garden. And I told you, old media, Max Kellerman, he said on First Take that Anthony Joshua was a bigger boxing star than Canelo. Now, We're going to see what's what. First of all, we'll see what they come up with to try to save this event. You know, hopefully it's good, and I'll give them props if it's like Luis Ortiz, Dillian White, or somebody. Because that'll be a good save. But Max Kellerman on ESPN, when AJ was the guest, he said that AJ is bigger than Canelo. Now's the time to prove it, because Canelo fought in that very building in December against a non-name known person that wasn't from America in Rocky Fielding, and the shit was jam-packed, and people still were anticipating it. Difference, too, at that time, you could do the 30-day free trial for Canelo's fight. Now, that they don't have the 30-day free trial. So people are going to have to actually buy this and want to buy this. Joshua already beat Povetkin, that mandatory. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to speculate. I got to see what the next move is. Good luck to Dazn, Eddie Hearns, AJ. You know, this is unfortunate. We'll see what they come up with. That's my time. Let me know what you guys think. Who should he fight? You know, the June just took a major hit. And like I said, if Triple G was fighting Andrade, it wouldn't be as much of a hit, because you at least can bank on one respectable fight in June for DAZN. And I'm telling you, competitors, why would they want to help you in a time of need like that? When you're talking about pay-per-view is dead. You know, Eddie, I keep telling you guys the same thing. Eddie Hearn, the other thing he did, and I told you, I don't know if this is a good idea, he keeps talking about what PBC did wrong. He keeps saying Broner Pacquiao. Oh, I don't want to see that. Broner's washed up, and Pacquiao, he's a legend, but he's old. It's not going to do no numbers. And Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence is not going to do no numbers. And, you know, Wilder, nobody knows him if he walks down the street. And if Wilder walked up to us right now, no one would be mobbing him. And how many views do you think? He's always counting the views of somebody else on the op, the competition, these things. So I won't even be surprised if Al Heyman don't even send nobody over and just let him figure it out. You know, he's always counting people's views, talking about, oh, how many buys do you think this fight will do? And, you know, the DAZN model is better because we have the budget and time slots, and we pay for everything up front, and they rely on the audience to pay for it. And, you know, you look at Terrence Crawford and Amir Khan. I know how much they're getting, and they're getting a lot. And how many buys do you think it does? 150, 200,000? It's going to be, they're not getting their money. You know, he's always worried about Bob Arum, PBC, and everybody else's numbers. Well, now, you know, it looks like they're going to have to redirect their energies to save this event, because this shit is FUBAR right now. Unless, you know, some unprecedented shit happens and VADA says, hey, we fucked up, we lied, you know, these adverse findings weren't really adverse, my bad. Or they say, despite him having this hardcore substance, G14 classified type shit, the GW component, we're going to allow this fight to continue. I don't see that, because like I said, New York State Athletic Commission, ain't nobody want that shit to fall on them. Like, for example, what if Gerald Miller, this is extreme. I'm just giving you a perspective of why this shit why fights like this typically get canceled. Because if it was publicized that he failed and had an adverse finding for something that gives you increased strength or endurance or extra white blood cells, and helps you breathe better and clean beauty, all this stuff, then that blood is on your hands if something happens. So if AJ ends up, like, you know, something happened where he got like Adonis Stevenson in his last fight, or Magomed Abdusalamov, then who do you think has to pay for that? That was their discretion. I've seen people get beat up and then like permanently disabled from boxing, and people went after like the commission and went after doctors, ringside doctors and stuff, because they allowed the fight to continue. So that blood is on somebody's hands if something ill happens to a person who is allowed to compete against somebody with something that was publicly known, that was in their system beforehand. Now, if a fight happens and then someone fails their post-fight screening, then that's different because the fight already happened and you didn't know about it. But if you knowingly have the knowledge that someone has a component or chemical that's on the ban list that's been banned since 2009 and it's 2019, it's been banned for a decade. They said it has severe health risks, and study tests showed that it enhances certain thing. It's a true PED. It's not like weed or some shit, right? Weed is not a PED, even though it's banned. It's not really, it doesn't really enhance your performance. You don't have superhuman strength. It's not like Sherm or some shit, like where you have superhuman strength. So anyway, that blood is on somebody's hand and nobody wants to hold that. Who wants to? It's like, put it this way. Let's say me and you guys are all kicking. I'm the king of analogies. I got one for y'all. Let's say me and you guys are all kicking it, and then I pull out a Glock 19 and just start killing people. Bah, 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 bah. And then I toss the gun to you. Who's going to want to catch it? I just killed 4 people, and then I try to hand off the gun to you. Are you going to want your prints on that? You be like, hell nah, bro. Like, ain't nobody going to take that gun. You know what I'm saying? When you didn't have nothing, not like on some gang shit, like we just all right. I'm just saying you guys are just innocent bystanders seeing what I did, and I tried to pass the burner to you. Ain't nobody going, here, I'll take it. Why did he hand me that? And ain't nobody trying to do that. So that's the same thing. It's the same theory, same concept with these commissions. Nevada State Athletic Commission doesn't want something to happen to Triple G, and they allow Canelo to fight him in May. He fought him in September because he was doing year-round drug testing, and he sat out for 5 months or whatever. And he was doing year-round drug testing to see if it was on the up and up. So, and on top of everything, New York State Athletic Commission in boxing is pretty strict. They didn't even want to let Sergio Martinez wear a leg brace. So I highly doubt that. You know, you also look at Virgil Ortiz on the Canelo fielding card. They didn't let him fight because he didn't pass an eye exam or some shit. You know, New York is super strict on this boxing shit. That's my time, y'all. We'll see what Dazn and Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua come up with. We'll see if the fight somehow Joshua Miller is pushed through. I'll keep you guys updated. Holla at the boy. Thank you guys so much for the super chat, shooters, channel members, just the fans. We working, new media. I told you, we on it. Everything boxing, I got y'all. Keep it locked.